Winter Rosie here. Another day, another May review. Not even kidding y'all, I was so ready to give up this month's review during the first half, because holy shit was this month an inspiring for me. Finals just ended and I was experiencing the biggest mental block ever. But don't worry y'all, here I am now doing better than ever. This month's music was pretty solid, but most weren't really something I was excited about. I guess May just awkwardly sits between the two main seasons of K-pop, those being the first quarter of the year and the summer season. But there were some standouts to mention which really helped me push in making the video, so please listen to that. First of all, I'd like to apologize immediately as this video might be a bit messy. Two of the songs in here that I really like might get copyright claims, and I wouldn't really know until I upload the video. I'll have those two song reviews up first, so in the case of a claim it'd be easier for me to cut them out of the video. But I'll try my best to include them cause I really like these two and it would be a shame to just let them go. Also, Summer Rosie is here, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Make sure to stick until the end for a little taste of what's to come. Anyways, without further ado, please enjoy the video. Let us give Dreamcatcher a round of applause. The ability to maintain the same style without making it boring is a tough task for sure. With the bass being rock, they still manage to keep the energy going by exploring what you can do with this specific genre. I'm not sure if this is the final album of a trilogy, but if it is, what a way to end it. An emotional, yet powerful song about the sacrifice of leaving something you love for the greater good. And as always, Dreamcatcher manages to translate these feelings with their performances. It's great to see a group of 7 years still have the ability to give us more impressive works. Shit, now that I think about it, I haven't seen them dip in quality. Yes, I may not like everything they do, but I still feel their passion, and that is more than enough for me. They deserve everything they have and it's probably not enough. I am more than willing to see what else they have left to show us, and bet you I'll be waiting for them. 8.9 out of 10. This will be the first Japanese track I'll ever feature in these monthly reviews. It may or may not become a normal thing. Some of these Japanese songs can be straight ass, but rarely you will see a song that could easily rival a group's best Korean track. Just when I thought I was done with this train, I got hit by a slightly slower train, but it's still a train nonetheless and it hurts a lot. I've just knows how to make good music regardless of the language or genre. They can make metal clanking sound good and I just have to give it to them. Releasing back-to-back great music in just a span of 3 months is crazy, and even if you didn't particularly like the music, you'd still somehow appreciate the production and how well made it is. At first I was a bit doubtful with how the song sounds and how it's structured, but the more I listened the more I fell, and here we are. It's not like I'm saying they're the pinnacle of pop music, but I kind of am. Pop music can be made so boring and most of it lasts barely a year into its life. But IVE doesn't make those kinds of songs. They do it well and they do it right. 8.8 out of 10. Please release new music every month, thank you. I had a review ready for Without You last month, but near the end I decided to remove it because I did nothing else but shit on the song. In the review I said the whole thing felt like it was out of budget and everything left me disappointed. KARD is a group that I always have appreciated, not only because they are a co-ed group, but because they do it very well and at times their music can be very good. Icky is a bit too new for me to properly assess it, but I for sure like it a lot more than whatever came before it. Icky has the potential for me to like it a lot, but I won't get too excited. I apologize for the very short review if you can even call it one. I'll have to see if the song can stand the test of time, but right now I'll give it a 7 out of 10 just to be safe. Black Swan is back and the music is as good as how it always was. Not that much. So as far as music goes, this is as enjoyable as celebrating your birthday after turning 20. But if there is anything I'd gladly praise these girls for, that would be their visuals. And I'm not talking about just looks. I'm talking videos, performances, all that good stuff that really makes this group stand out from other nugu groups. Beautiful videos, striking and charismatic performances, fairly talented members as well. Dare I say the only thing holding them back is their music itself. Not that it's bad, because some of it is actually really good, but still none of it really stands out from the rest. And of course, being a music review, I can't praise it much. 7.1 out of 10. There is a noticeable difference in production quality though, so I hope that will soon translate much better through the music. I can't be the only one who discovered this song through that one aespa edit. Anyways, pretty good song in my opinion. Let's not pretend to be blind and go over the obvious New Jeans influence, at least in the aesthetics. It's a good thing the music has something going on for itself, or else we'd just have a New Jeans copycat. While I do think the song is good, it's a bit too underwhelming as a debut track. Honestly, the aespa edit helped so much in me liking this song that I kind of wish it were real, because the original song itself isn't that powerful. If they were a bigger group somewhere, maybe this would have worked, but they're literally unknown and a song like this ain't enough. The girls seem to be very capable. I heard they choreographed the song themselves, and it would be a shame to see their talent be left unseen. 7.3 out of 10. It's a good song but not strong enough to get most people excited, which is something all songs need these days to make an impression. Cherry Talk is a song that I admire a lot but have almost nothing to say about. You know how sometimes the music just clicks with you? Yeah, that feeling. S has given us nothing but well-produced tracks ever since the beginning. I don't want to be that guy, but this obviously reminds me of a lot of girl group music in the past, and a style that I particularly loved a lot. I don't know what exactly to call it, but let's just say it's pretty music. Pretty voices and instrumentals to create a pretty experience. Everything about this song is satisfying and was flawlessly created. Though I have to say, this will probably be forgotten by a lot, even me. Nothing about it engages me to listen to it more, and that's not really the biggest problem in the world, but I'd obviously favor songs that have a long-lasting impact on me. And that's kind of my problem with a lot of K-pop these days. Like, I can appreciate them and like them to some degree, but they feel just barely interesting for me to care about. And of course music is subjective, so there's that as well. 7.6 out of 10. Cherry Talk is no bad song, but then again, I don't think it'll be a song I'll remember a lot.
We keep on running crazy like that. We can match it, not crazy like that.
For some reason, even as a new boy group, they've affected me just enough for me to remember them. I will admit I don't actively listen to their music, but once I do I always realize how well done their songs are. Last year they released 2 songs titled Undercover and Oh, and I won't even pretend these 2 are some crazy over-the-top handcrafted by the gods kind of music, but in no way are they near bad. It actually feels like these songs had a proper thought process other than just to release music for the sake of it. Probably because they come from Jellyfish Entertainment, a company that may not have the best reputation, but they definitely know how to make good music with style. Vix, Guguden, that's more than enough proof in my opinion. With crazy like that, it seems that they've gone for a different approach, and you know what, I like it more than their previous songs. The song is simple but it does not come off as boring at all. It's great dance music, but at the same time it's also nice to just sit down and chill with it. Very is a group that I think with just a little more push, could become a very successful group with a lot of admirers. And if there was a new boy group war, I'd definitely have my bets placed on them. 7.8 out of 10. Like I said, the music isn't much, but I can appreciate a work well done when I see it. When Chungha and Yoonbi weren't there for us, Mother Maju came to take us in. The song is in a style we're all familiar with, and at first, though I liked it, I still considered overlooking it just because I was low-key tired of songs like this, because they weren't anything new. But knowing me, I had to give it a fighting chance, and so I listened to it more. I read the lyrics, and watched the music video, and after that I actually got a deeper understanding of the song. The song itself sounds quite melancholic in a way with a sprinkle of euphoria. My interpretation of the lyrics would be, a person envisioning themselves as their glamorous version that they can only dream of. Pretty harsh, no? But I don't think it's in a way where she says, all you can do is dream because you'll never achieve it type of way. But rather, you are free to dream and be the star of your own movie. And I think that's a beautiful message. I also like how the chorus changes each time. It's kind of like a representation of molding her own world in the way she wants it, which is pretty creative in my opinion. 8.4 out of 10. On a surface level this is no more than just another K-pop song. But I thought it was done so wonderfully that it deserved much more than it should. This song had 3 weeks to grow on me, and without a doubt it did. Supposedly to be an end to their first album trilogy, Sserafim came back with a song that's too rowdy for its own good. And don't even get me started, okay? I love this group wholeheartedly and appreciate what they've contributed to K-pop in the past year. Fearless being a debut to be never forgotten, one of the best debut minis I've ever heard, followed by one of, if not the best title track to ever grace K-pop. In just barely a year they've cemented themselves as the K-pop group to look out for. So why give them an ITZY track? Oh, and don't think of this as a shade to ITZY. I love a good majority of ITZY tracks. The loud and bratty nature of their songs is what made them iconic in the first place, and are one of the only groups who actually does it well. Overconfidently saying I love myself is ITZY's niche and it works for them, and it definitely doesn't work with Sserafim. The way the Sarah girls have conveyed their themes and messages has always been by not shoving it to your face. In Fearless they show their stoicness by not showing much, both in music and visuals. In Anti-Fragile they show how they can turn chaos into fun, again, both in music and visuals. Up until this point it was all about action speaking louder than words. In Unforgiven they talk about how they are breaking the rules, defying the taboo, and all that shit, when they've already been doing it. That's like Superman telling how strong he is to all the people he saved. Like I understand what the premise was, but the execution of it all felt amateurish. This felt like a new group debut rather than a comeback from one of the most striving groups out now. It also doesn't help the fact they clearly tried to replicate Anti-Fragile's catchiness with that I'm a villain hook, which for some reason annoys me when I barely even listen to it. Actually there's a lot of good parts in this song, but as a package I've heard much better from them and their other fellow artists. 8.1 out of 10. This comeback is nowhere near enough to make them disappear off the map, but if this does ever happen again, this group could be a huge waste of potential.
3, 2. Queen card, I'm hot. My book and moon is off. Spotlight, 날 봐. I'm star, star, star. Queen card.
Surprisingly enough I actually enjoy this song. I know some idol songs can be a bit unpleasant to listen to for some people. I mean understandably of course. These songs can be either too much or too little for listeners. But for me my biggest problem with their recent songs was never always about the lyrics. Yes they can be off-putting, but it's not the end of the world. What really gets me is how deep and meaningful their messages can be, but are somehow not able to get out there due to how the music sounds. Nude would have been the perfect comeback if only the song itself sounded better. With Queen Card, everything felt well stitched together. Provocative lyrics, plus the unbothered spirit they got. It's obvious this thing was meant to be satire. Now don't get me wrong, I'm all about idols having fun, but at least make the music sound as good as how the message feels. Fine, let's say this song was all made to have fun, then I'd understand. And frankly, I do like it if we all look at the song that way. But even so, I don't think this is even remotely close to anything Idol has done before. I really don't want to doubt and overlook the work that has been put into this song. I'm sure they've worked day and night producing this song to be the best version of itself, but as a listener, I don't feel that at all. If I look back at let's say Tomboy and compare it to Queen Card, there really isn't much of a difference in quality. Heck even they kind of have the same vibes too. Am I indirectly saying nothing changed in a year? Maybe. They don't necessarily need to, but I'm seeing these other groups improve in just a span of months, and I feel like it would be nice to see them do as well. I'll always be grateful with how Idol keeps it real in this artificial industry, but that doesn't excuse the mediocre title tracks they've been releasing for a while now. I know they are capable of doing much better, and you know I'll never shut up about it.
It's you and me in this world 내게로 다시 왔다네 날 구원할 거라면 Just come kiss me and invite me.
It looks like they've come back to their vampiric roots, and you know what? I hope they stay. I did enjoy their little rock and hip hop detour last year, but to me that didn't feel like it was them. This however felt very in character of them. I've never associated this group with any specific sound, so I always thought they were a flexible collective able to do whatever was given to them. But some styles did fit them much better than others, that being their first 2 releases. Their voices and visuals fit so well with this concept that I kind of wish they would stick with it forever. And for some reason I just love this sound with boy groups so much. It reminds me of old K-pop that I feel like has been missing from the scene for a while now. Back when they actually made catchy and memorable music of course. And this is the part where I would be complaining about how short the song is, but I won't be. I believe the song did everything it had to do in just that short span of 2 minutes and 37 seconds. I feel like any longer and it would be too repetitive. The hooks themselves are so earwormy that if used too much it could be annoying. But it wasn't, and I thank everyone for that. This is also the first N-hypen title track where I feel like it could get a fair amount of public attention. Maybe except Fever, they got no song out there that gets enough traction from the public. And yes, you could say that's fine as long as the fanbase is strong. But as fans, wouldn't you want the most for your artists? It wouldn't hurt to release a song to attract more people. In fact, it would be better. It's catchy, it's great, and it could honestly be one of their best titles so far. 8.8 out of 10. This comeback was great and you can't tell me otherwise. It may seem like I have a love-hate relationship with their music, but never have I doubted them ever. Girls was a nice title track that came with a very weak album. Almost forgettable in my opinion. Especially coming from a company like SM. I feel like they weren't trying their best with that album. Though I did grow to like Girls the title track a lot in the past months, the whole comeback itself wasn't too impressive for me to remember that era. This, however, is how it should be for this group. The promotion for this whole comeback actually felt like a necessary amount for one of K-pop's biggest groups active right now. From the teasers, the content, the music, performances, this is their biggest and greatest comeback so far. I don't know how and what the general reaction is to this song, but I hope everyone liked it in some way, because this is so unapologetically aespa that it hurts. I feel like up until Girls, they still felt like an amateur girl group to me. A group still finding their way to improve on what they're lacking. Finding their style, discovering what fits and doesn't. Hence the Girls album. A jumbled mess with no sense of direction whatsoever. And yes, Savage was as amazing as it gets, but y'all didn't expect aespa to keep doing the whole virtual electronic sound for the rest of their career, right? Now let's look at My World. It's everything aespa was, and what they could be. Spicy is that conventional aespa sounding track we all know and love, while the rest of the album offered a familiar yet new palette of sounds and styles we haven't heard from them. And the best part about it, it still feels like it was made by the same group. Spicy is a fun track that is perfect for the summertime, done in a way only they can. Even as a fun song, it doesn't sacrifice anything else for it. Production is disgustingly great, vocals are as good as ever, along with the delivery of course. The melody is appealing, and overall it's a great and well-made song that I hope everyone appreciates. I can confidently say aespa is one of the only groups worth checking out now. They have an interesting concept, paired with great music that doesn't get boring. It may have took some time for them to settle down, and now that they are sitting comfortably, I feel like aespa will become an even bigger name not just in K-pop, but the music industry itself. I'll give it a safe 9 out of 10. It may not be perfect because I do like other songs better, and frankly this isn't their best one, but on its own I think it's a song that they should be proud of. aespa has once again gagged us with their music, and I know it won't be stopping anytime soon. Thanks for watching the video. I will be seeing you sometime next week, so take care until then. Goodbye.
나에 대한 확신이 있다. 자신감. 내가 결정했을 때 후회하지 않을 거라는 확신.